Hey, what's up, family? Welcome back to my vlogs. Here we have a Nissan Altima. I bought it from COPART. Here you go. You can see all the damage. Here's a walk around on the vehicle. So it turns out they couldn't get the car started because the battery got unplugged during the accident. So I brought the window up, pulled out the mirror, not the mirror, I'm sorry, the headlight. You can see it just has a little dent on the trunk. And also that water pump right there was gushing water at the bottom. And as you can see, the impact was on top. This is the brand new water pump. That's the old one. So in these videos, you're gonna learn from my mistakes pretty much. And you know, I'm also gonna give you my advice. And I'd love to hear you guys' advice as well. And so like, also one thing, because we're buying multiple cars in this video. So like one thing I look for when buying a car is like, let's say, let's start with this. I always compare prices with Facebook Marketplace prices because those are probably like the most realistic prices out there. And also I do look at the statistics as well, you know, Carvana, all those good websites online. But I'm very realistic as well, you know, because I'm not really financing and it's like first come, first serve with my cars. But I definitely do like to stick around the Toyotas, Hondas, Japan cars. You know, those seem to have a good reputation. I've had a lot of positive feedback. Mazdas are good as well. But also, like, typically when you're selling or reselling cars, you know, it's all about making quick cash and getting rid of a car instead of, you know, holding it for longer and trying to get an extra few grand or 100, you know? So one rule I like to stick to is like the 50-75 rule. So that means that whatever the purchase price is, let's say I purchase a vehicle for 2K. 50% of 2,000 is 1,000, you know? And that would come out to out the door selling the car for 3K. And I like to say also, your purchase price must include also all the parts and labor. So this is just me talking, but I know it's going to be hard to find a car running and driving for 2K with all parts and labor down and everything. But if that's the case, just so happens if you get lucky, then you could sell it for 3K, and that's at 50%. Right. So I may post it on Facebook Marketplace at my 100% 4K, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be getting it for that. Or, you know, obviously I'm going to be selling it for that. But what I found out though is that the more higher I post it, also with Facebook, every time you drop the listing down a little bit more, they promote it more. And that's also free promoting. And also, when somebody sees that the price has been dropped, you know, it makes them more interested. That's true. You know, if someone wants to negotiate all the way from 4K to 3,200, 3,400, anything between 3K to 4K, you're winning. 50 to 100%, you're winning. The more the better. So, you know how that goes. This was a 2017 Nissan Altima with 94,000 miles. Right here. A few different keys. See if she starts up. Like a gem. Oh, that check engine light. Alright, so what we got here? Check engine light I have to clear. That's for the mass airflow sensor that we already replaced. Tires are low because tires are low. Yellow hazard is because the tires are low. Airbag is because the airbags went off. And seatbelt is because I ain't got no seatbelt on. You already know how it is. Alright, so car's running like a gem. I'm gonna just try to get this on because look, this one came off so easily. Kind of struggling though with this one. So we're gonna see how that goes. And this is gonna look brand spanking new. For a good $5 fee at the junkyard. That's how you do it. Alright, so with the cars I do, you know, I like to outsource a lot of the work, a lot of mechanic work that, you know, I don't want to touch or deal with. But basic stuff I'll do, you know, I'm going to save myself some money. So believe it or not, pulling off this fender was very simple actually. I just had to do like literally 2 screws on top, a few at the bottom. And then as you can see, cut off all those airbags. And this is the car before paint. And now as you can see, doing a roadside assistance job. Oh, this car actually, you could see he had a strip nut, and I had to pull out the lug nut remover, which is, it looks like a reverse like lug nut pretty much, that you just spin and it ends up ripping it off. So that was pretty good right there. Now that I got the last lug nut off that was stripped, I can put 4 of the 5 that were on because it was actually stripped. And oh wait, oh yeah, okay, as you can see, it's not that it was stripped. Well, the other part that was stripped I already took off because the lug nut remover, that's what happens. You take off the strip part and then it reveals the actual lug nut, you know. So over here I had a call and I got stuck behind a train, so I thought that was pretty funny. I'm like over here trying to go help somebody and I'm stuck behind a train. Pretty much they needed a battery replacement. And then now, as you can see, my buddy gave me a call. He has like over like 35 cars. More. Let's check it out. There it is. Right here. That's the 3rd coil right there. Here it is. And when he has some engine work that he needs help with, that you know, nothing too crazy, because here's the thing, I only do what I can. I don't like to overdo it. I'm very truthful. If I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. That's why I have other buddies that I've worked at Toyota dealership, so I know a few people that work at Toyota. I have a bunch of friends that are master mechanics. I have a guy that is a complete diesel mechanic, like, so, you know, I never do anything that I can't. But this was very simple. It seems like the spark plugs, well, actually had a misfire, this car. And as you can see, I pulled out the spark plugs. I think it was the 3rd cylinder that ended up was misfiring. And now that I swapped it out, we test it out. And just like new. So what I was noticing at first was the RPMs were going up and down and the car was vibrating. So now that the new ignition coils and new spark plugs was in there, it wasn't vibrating anymore and the RPMs were steady, not bouncing. And AC's running good, nice. Alright, after that I had a quick tire change and it was so quick I couldn't even film it. So that's all we got. Alright, so I just came out with the magnets for my company, for the vehicles, and it started off like this, then this, then this, and this, and then the best for last, Merry Christmas. This is the masterpiece. Alright, that's how you do it. Alright, so over here, I'm thinking about painting the Nissan Altima logo black. I actually want to do all the logos black originally, but you know, you got to start with the Ultima logo. And I've heard Plasti Dip is quite popular, so this is the first coat. That's it dry. Here goes the second coat. I think I did 3 or 4 coats at the end of the day, and then I was waiting actually because everything had to be ordered. They didn't have it in stock, which was the clear coat that you're gonna see in just a moment. Alright, so this is when the Plasti Dip dried up. As you can see, I put the clear coat on. It didn't make it too shiny, but definitely put a nice clear coat on. Here I am fixing a flat for my buddy. He had a flat, so he came by to me, told me to put a patch in it or a plug. So just like that, wrapping it up already. I did both. I put both light bulbs in his car because the light bulbs were too dim, so we switched them out. Alright, and this is the Mazda 3. This is when I picked it up. I'll tell you, I sold it for $4,300. So I'll let you guys do the math. It had 5,000 miles, fully serviced. You know how that goes. And yeah, this is another car I have, a Toyota Camry. Before I got the paint done, that's what it looked like. And in the state of Florida, this is what I have to drive by. Donald Trump's airplane when he's in town. Right there on, I think it's called Donald Trump Boulevard now. This is that Toyota Camry that I was showing you guys earlier. Front and the back. Not too bad. My advice, never take your car to take 5 oil change, because the drain plug looked like it was put on with a drill, and I had to take it off with a wheel impact wrench. Always get your oil changed by pristine quality. See, even my cars are quality. I always give my cars an oil change, therefore the next person that buys it doesn't even have to get an oil change. Alright, now that we got our Mobile One filter, oil in there. We got our Mobile One and our full synthetic. I'm about to throw it in this. I'm gonna do the headlights. See, everything else looks pretty good on this car. Come get it, 5K. Alright, so this is the Nissan Altima, all done up. Took it to the body guy. That's all the body work and paint, just like the Camry. And here's the Mazda, all finished up as well. All oil change, fully serviced. You know how that goes. Ended up selling it for like 4,400. So if you guys know, you do the math. Alright, so over here we have a 2018 Nissan Altima. Customer states she went to the dealership, actually went to get her brakes done, and they said they weren't able to do the brakes only. It has to be brakes and rotors. That's the only way they would put warranty on the car or so on. You know the stories they make up. You know, she had it looked at by another mechanic. He gave her outrageous praise of, well, not as bad as the dealership, because also the dealership wanted brakes and rotors, which they could have done as well, but she was on a budget, and they said they wouldn't be able to cover it, warranty or anything at all. So then she called me, and I actually do brakes I actually do brakes and rotors, same price, because if you're already in there, it takes an extra 5 minutes to do it. So I do them for $250 all 4 brakes, or $150 for just the front. Typically though, you know, they always get all 4 done. And alright, so as you can see on the bottom, I'm pulling off the filter. I got it off with regular oil filter remover, and on top I'm actually compressing the brakes or brake calipers with the brake caliper press. There you go. As you can see, I just pulled off the filter at the bottom. So this car got all 4 brakes done and an oil change since I was already there. So, you know, I do $50 oil changes on all makes and models, even trucks, diesels, Toyotas, Hondas, whatever it is. And you wonder how I might make money off of that. It's because if you purchase the oil from AutoZone, they give a deal like Publix, buy one get one free, but it's buy one get one. I don't know how many percent. And AutoZone gives you oil and filter for $30, and people are very, very satisfied with getting their oil changed at their house done for $50 labor plus $30 just for parts. It's kind of a no-brainer, you know. So here we go. No line, no wait. I like to check the oil. That way it's not overfilled. I always dip it and keep filling and dip it. Yeah, if you like the content, just like and subscribe, please. Follow us on all platforms at VixSells or Pristine Quality. And as you can see, here's the Honda Civic. Alright, I just want to say thanks for watching. Please leave your comments down below what you guys think about the new videos, any pointers, any suggestions. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And always remember, keep flipping, but not flipping out.